And then if you heard Mamdani's response, it was pathetic. Pathetic. So who better to talk to this morning than one of the great professors we've got in the really repulsive CUNY system here in New York today. From my old school, Kingsborough Community College, my friend Jeffrey Locks, K by the Bay. Jeff, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, Sid. How are you?
Good. So you heard what Errol Lewis said. What do you think?
Yep. You sent me that on text, and I literally was laughing out loud that he's telling Katsimatidis, you're going to have to stop broadcasting. I was laughing so hard, Sid. I can't even tell you. Ridiculous. First of all, this idea that hate speech is not free speech is just this lie. So you're not allowed to hate somebody? I hate a lot of people, Sid, and I talk about it all the time. You're allowed to hate people. You're allowed to hate Mamdani. You're allowed to hate Farrakhan. You're allowed to hate Tucker. You're allowed to hate Ilhan Omar. I will go and say that all day long, all night long. You can't do anything to me about it. There's nothing wrong with hate speech. What there is something wrong with is what you do to people when you're engaging in certain kinds of unprotected hate speech. If hate speech was not allowed, you think Imus would have had a career? Would Howard Stern have had a career? Right. They talk about who – come on. That was ridiculous.
No, and look, this guy owns all this. You know, it'd be one thing if he was just a Muslim man, okay? A faithful, practicing Muslim man. And Sid, who's now been described as Islamophobic in over 100 languages and 16,000 articles, just picked on him. Guess what? Errol, you got a point. But when this guy is hanging out with Hassan Piker, when this guy is hanging out with Mahmoud Khalil, who once again sued President Trump yesterday, when this guy fantasizes about globalizing the Intifada and refuses to recognize Israel as a Jewish state, he earned everything I called him. Did he not?
Yes, and I will tell you that what Mamdani said in response to what happened to those poor, like you said, shul goers at the Park East Synagogue, it was absolutely disgusting, but also it was illegal. He is so stupid that he doesn't care about the law or has people on his staff who don't know what the hell the law is.
Oh, but he seems to care about the ICC law because he keeps bringing up how important that law is because he's not going to have a choice but to arrest Bibi Netanyahu.
Right, so he's an idiot because the United States is not a party to the Rome Statute, which is what codifies the ICC law. The United States not only is not a party to the ICC, you're not allowed legally in this country to enforce ICC law. So what he's talking about is illegal. He's not allowed to do it. He can't arrest Netanyahu. It would be illegal. It would be Mamdani who should then be arrested if he does that. So when he talks about that New York is subject to international law, no, we're not. We're subject to the United States Constitution and to New York State law and to United States law. So what he said was so disgusting. And let me give you the quote. He said, so the shul is being harassed, which, by the way, my great friend, Rabbi Mark Goldfeder, went on Twitter last night and correctly explained it, that to do what they did, those mob Islamist extremist nut jobs, violates a federal law called the FACE Act. You're not allowed to preclude or get in the way of people going to their religious observance locations in any way, and you can't harass them. And that's what happened. So it violates, guess what, Zoran? United States federal law. There's no such thing as international ICC law. We are not a party to it. It doesn't apply. But here's what Zoran said. He condemned the synagogue. He said, quote, they should not be used, synagogues, to promote activities in violation of international law. Again,
wow.
We are not subject to international law. We are not a member of the Rome Statute. He's a legal idiot. His staff doesn't know the law, and he is a vile human being, as you already know.
Vile. You know, and I know I'm doing the right thing. If Errol Lewis is attacking me, I'm doing the right thing. And CARE, the fact that CARE has now gone out of their way a bunch of times First, they attacked me when Marco Rubio was on this show 3 months ago, Jeff Blacks. And I said to Marco, you and the president must designate the Muslim Brotherhood and CARE as terrorist organizations. They haven't done it yet. I don't know why. It's starting to annoy me. They haven't done it. But I said it then, and CARE was angry. They called me all kinds of names. And then, of course, when I said Mamdani would be cheering, they sent a letter to John Catsimatidis and said, you need to fire this guy. This is the same CARE, mind you, that the local chapter, it turns out, we find out 2 days ago, was paying these Islam protesters $1,000 a piece to terrify students on campus. CARE.
Yeah, and they also funded the Mamdani campaign. It wouldn't shock anybody to know that. They were major donors to the Mamdani campaign. So what does that tell you? They're in his pocket. He's going to want to follow their agenda. And you're 100% right. Not only should Trump, I pray that he does this soon and declares them, along with the Muslim Brotherhood, a foreign terrorist organization. But, you know, the state of Texas just declared CARE.
I know. I mean, if Governor Abbott is going to do it, what the hell are we? I mean, it's nice that they designated Antifa a couple of weeks ago, but, and I love Trump, and I love Marco. You're going to compare Antifa to CARE and the Muslim Brotherhood? Come on.
Right, 100%. And even the Biden administration said refused to work with CARE, because originally they had this anti-Semitism initiative, which was total garbage to begin with, but CARE was a part of it. They threw them out. Don't forget, CARE was people don't know about this enough, and they really should look into it.
And you know CARE about this, too, because while I had this conversation with Rubio, let me give you credit. You were working, and still are, I guess, very closely with Republican great Tom Cotton to get CARE designated as well.
And other people, and local people as well. But, so, I mean, listen, the bottom line is this. CARE, absolutely. I think we need to do it in New York more importantly than anywhere else. I'm hoping that the mayor, before he exits, will do that. Have New York City declare CARE to be a foreign terrorist organization. They are. So I just want to mention, because I don't think people know this, they were an unindicted co-conspirator in the largest terror financing case in U.S. history, the Holy Land Foundation case. And two federal courts, because CARE protested this. They didn't want this designation of unindicted co-conspirator, because even though they're not indicting you, they're saying you did something illegal, but you're helping us in the case, or we're not going to indict you. It's a deal. It means they were involved. Two federal courts, because CARE protested the designation, found that CARE was so connected to Hamas that they deserved the designation, and CARE lost those two federal cases. So if people think they're not a terrorist group, just go look at that case. They absolutely were found to have transferred money to Hamas.
Hamas. You know, one more, Jeff Blacks. Again, Jeff is one of our valued great professors, Kingsborough Community College, where I did receive my 2-year associate's degree. Jeff's a terrific guy. But these CUNY stories, I know, make you crazy because you work with CUNY and it hits you personally. Here's one. Just this week, Imam tells CUNY Muslim students to leave interfaith event because a Zionist is present. Here we go again, Jeff.
Yeah. So City College, now this is the same campus, by the way, and I gave a speech about this a couple of years ago in Albany. My friend Ari Brown kindly invited me. He was trying to enact anti-Semitism legislation to protect Jews, and of course, it was blocked by the Democrats in Albany because it's a supermajority there and with the city council and everything. So I gave a speech about City College and the events that happened there. This is the same campus that raised the Palestinian flag on their campus and took down the American flag right here. And this is a few years ago. So this kind of stuff's going to happen again. This imam at this interfaith, and all this interfaith stuff is such garbage, Sid. It's just used to shield them from anti-Semitism. They say they're doing this. They say they're doing this. It's really garbage. I've been to these events. It is such nonsense. It's puffery, garbage. But anyway, at this event, there's this imam who is an alumni, of course, of City College, and he's telling everyone, first of all, he's talking about Sharia law. He's talking about the importance of Sharia law and chopping off people's fingers. That's what he was talking about at the time. And he says, if you're a Muslim, you got to leave the room right now. And there were about 100 Muslims in the room. He said, you got to leave because there's a Zionist here. And they all left.
They left.
They all left. There were about 20 Christians. By the way, it's not just Jews. Christians were discriminated against. So there's 20 Christians were at the event.
Yeah. Well, that's another issue. Look, we still are, we get very hyper-focused, people like me and you, Jeff, on the Jews, and we are a Judeo-Christian nation. And the truth is, around the world, as bad as it is for the Jews in the United States and Europe and anti-Semitism, Christians are being killed. I mean, Africa, what they're doing in Nigeria is absolutely horrible. So my Christian brothers and sisters, who for the most part are with us, they're going through the same garbage that we are. So, these people, these crazy Islamists, they don't like Jews or Christians.
No, they hate Christians. And you're right. There's an organization, I forgot the name, but it puts out a list of countries across the world where Christians are being persecuted. You don't hear Tucker talking about that.
Well, Tucker.
Trust me, Israel's not on that top 50 list. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, Israel.
But they go after Israel. But by the way, the governor, Hochul, she's just as bad as everyone else. And I know you're with Lisa Stefanik all the time. I know she's a friend of yours. And I know
I'm friends with both of them. I'm very, very close. Maybe closer with Bruce Blakeman than I am Elise. So I want to see either one of those two win.
Right. Well, the bottom line is Hochul has to lose. Hochul comes up, and after this event, and she makes a statement that City College has to fix this. What the hell is she talking about? They answer to her. They answer to her. She's the one that's been doing nothing. And let nobody forget that in all the years that she's been governor, Sally Abdallah is the head of discrimination at CUNY. She is a former CARE director, and not just that. She is the former head of the BDS movement at CARE, Minnesota. That is who was in charge of discrimination at CUNY. So, Sid, I ask you, and I ask your listeners, what chance does a Jewish student have bringing a discrimination case at CUNY when you have a CARE director who supports BDS and has led BDS movements in charge of it? They have no chance.
Wow. Jeff Lax, you're a beautiful person. I love you. What can I say?
I love you too, Sid.
Shabbat shalom, and we'll do this again very, very soon. And, you and Ina Vernikov, Ina fights every day. I'm very proud of Ina. I know you're very, very close with Ina. She's in this fight. She's welcoming Bibi to Brooklyn if he comes for the inauguration. She's out there yelling and screaming about Mamdani. So to me, you two in Brooklyn, you and Ina, are my strongest fighters. So keep it up. I love you. We'll do it again very soon.
So can I just say really quickly, I love Ina. Ina and I bicker every now and then, and that's fine about little things. The bottom line is, like you, she's basically the lone voice. And in that city council that is full of evil, horrible people, what she's doing all alone takes the utmost bravery. I couldn't have more respect for somebody who goes into that room every day and stands up to everything she's standing up for. So God bless her. God bless you. And yes, Shabbat Shalom.
All right, Jeff, you're beautiful. There he is, folks. CUNY professor Jeff Lax. I've got some thoughts, too. He brought up the city council. He's right.